When looking at the top 30 most viewed TV broadcasts in American history, there's a clear pattern. Of those 30, 29 are Super Bowls, with the ninth most viewed broadcast being the series finale of the show MASH. But as much as I'd like to talk about MASH today, we're going to talk about the best Super Bowl ever, Super Bowl 51. The game was a classic tale of David and Goliath. From the AFC, the four-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, led by Tom Brady, who captained his team to the third best offense in NFL that year, scoring 27.6 points per game. Their defense locked down the other end of the football, allowing the fewest points per game in the NFL that season at only 15.6. The engine that built the success behind the Falcons was the breakout offense of Kyle Shanahan, the team's offensive coordinator, who led the league with a blistering 33.8 points per game. Both teams breezed through their conference playoff, with Atlanta winning by 23 points over Green Bay and New England winning by 19 points. They'd meet each other on February 5th, 2017 in Houston, Texas. The Patriots would receive the opening kickoff, but their first offensive series would be a quick 3-and-out with a great tackle by Falcons' Deion Johnson to force the Patriots to punt. Unlike their opposition, the Falcons were able to get a bit of offensive momentum, with the first play of the game having Devontae Freeman chunk out a nice 37-yard run, but the Falcons would stall out there after a sack from Trey Flowers. Tom Brady was able to start a rhythm, biting off chunks of the defense with throws to Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, and Chris Hogan, but New England would again have to punt after sacks by Courtney Upshaw and Grady Jarrett from Atlanta. The second drive of the Falcons would be a lot like the first, but instead of Devontae Freeman being the only person moving the ball along, it was Tevin Coleman this time. New England's third drive, though, was disastrous, starting with the running back LeGarrette Blount ends the drive by fumbling the ball, with Robert Alford of Atlanta recovering, giving the Falcons great field position and a good boost of morale for a stagnating offense. As the second quarter began, Matt Ryan started the drive with back-to-back throws to all-pro wide receiver Julio Jones for 19 and 23 yards respectively. Devontae Freeman would continue the good night he's been having by running the ball for the next three downs for 15, 9, and 5 yards, with the last run being for the game's opening score. Patriots offense would have their issues continuing with another 3-and-out. Falcons, on the other hand, were building off of a successful previous drive. They'd march down the field with a 24-yard pass to Taylor Gabriel, followed by an 18-yard pass to Julio Jones, and then a 1-yard rush from Tevin Coleman, followed by an incomplete pass to Austin Hooper. Atlanta would score their second touchdown on a 19-yard pass to the previous target. With the ball now in the Patriots' hands, they would spend the next 5 minutes from their 25-yard line to Atlanta's 23 before an amazingly timed interception by Robert Alford, who returned the ball 82 yards for a touchdown. The half would end with Patriots kicker Steven Gostkowski putting the team's first points on the board with a 3-point field goal. At halftime, the score was Atlanta 21, New England 3. The second half started poorly for both teams, each having to punt their first drives of the new half. The Falcons, though, were able to score another touchdown with Matt Ryan throwing a pass to Tevin Coleman, with the game now being 28-3 with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. To this point, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history was 10 points on a few different occasions, but the Patriots got the ball in their own 25 and started doing what they had been doing great for the past 10 years. Short passes to running backs and wide receivers, along with a series of running plays. LeGarrette Blount rushed the ball for 5 yards from the end zone, which would set up an easy pass to running back James White, but Steven Gostkowski missed the extra point, making the score 28-9. The Falcons would have a 3-and-out to end the third quarter, with the fourth quarter starting. Patriots would continue their newfound momentum, scoring 19 unanswered points. This would leave the game tied at 28 apiece, setting up the first overtime in Super Bowl history. The Patriots won the coin toss, and they didn't mess with what had been working in the fourth quarter. Tom Brady threw 5 consecutive short passes, and they were 25 yards away from becoming Super Bowl champions for a 5th time, and a 10-yard run made it 15 yards. But then a costly pass interference from Atlanta called on Devondre Campbell, who put the Patriots now at the 2-yard line. Then they decided to run.
319! Toss to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
The Patriots were now 5-time Super Bowl champions and the first team to ever win in overtime. The MVP was given to Tom Brady, who was the driving force in what was now the largest comeback in Super Bowl history at 25 points. He threw 46 completions on 62 attempts for a staggering 466 yards and 2 touchdowns. This set the record at the time for the most completions, attempts, and yards in a single Super Bowl, and tied him with the record for most Super Bowl wins with his 5th, tying Charles Haley of the 49ers and Dallas Cowboys. The highlight play was this mind-blowing catch
Here's
from Joe
Edelman
Madden.
broken up, and the pass is no sign yet.
After this, the Patriots would go on to the next 2 Super Bowls, losing to the Eagles the next year, but beating the Rams after the loss to the Eagles. After a disappointing season by their standards, Tom Brady would leave to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in free agency in a decision that shocked the NFL, where he would be on the first team to win a Super Bowl in their home arena. Kyle Shanahan would end up leaving Atlanta's offensive coordinator role to become the head coach of the 49ers, eventually leading the Niners to a Super Bowl appearance in 2020. Julio Jones continued his Hall of Fame career, and at the time of writing is rumored to be on the trading block. Matt Ryan hasn't been able to regain the MVP form he had in the 2016-17 season since being out of Kyle Shanahan's system.